Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Nerd of All Trades, where you collect what you love. My name is Darius Rivers, and I am here to bring you joy with more anime statues. And this time, we won't be doing Dragon Ball Z or anything else. We will be doing an anime that seems like it never wants to end. But we still love it, so it's great. And that anime is going to be One Piece. Gotta love One Piece, guys. And actually today too, so kind of like what I did with Dragon Ball Z a little bit. I will actually be doing technically 2 unboxings this video. I thought it would be great to kind of go ahead and open a couple of them. So I got 2 guys this go around. I got Shanks and I have Luffy. So just like last time, I'm going to work my way from Shanks, and then Luffy is going to be the final one that I actually open up this go around. Since he is the larger one. So we're going to put him back for now. And we're going to show off Shanks for a second. So One Piece has always been an anime that I've honestly kind of fallen out of. The most that I do with One Piece nowadays is actually play a couple of their video games, which Pirate Warriors 3 is probably still my favorite, just because if you guys have ever played Dynasty Warriors, Pirate Warriors is One Piece game that's Dynasty Warriors primarily. It gives you a bunch of characters you can use, and then you just go do missions, and actually some of them kind of tell you the story as it goes along. Doesn't tell you a lot of the in-depth features of the story, but it kind of gives you a grasp of what's going on with the One Piece story, at least up to a certain arc. And that's pretty much where most of my knowledge of One Piece come from. I used to watch One Piece growing up, again, back on, I think it was Toonami, it was either Maguzi Toonami or something. It was Cartoon Network for sure. And when they were showing it there, and of course, like the rap song came on, and I was like, yo, this is awesome. And I watched One Piece faithfully all the way up to the Inaru saga, or the Cloud City, I guess you could say saga, or whatever, arc. And that's kind of where they turned it off at. Toonami kind of like played it up till then, and then one day, I think the next Saturday, I was waiting for One Piece to come on, and it never came on, and I was just like, what happened? So even like on the DVR or anything, or the guide, I went to the next Saturday, because I think the guide would always show like the next week's setup or programmings and stuff, and One Piece wasn't there, and I kind of lost my mind about it. So I was without One Piece for a couple months, probably going on a year or two maybe, and I finally this is after my friends started telling me about like websites you can go and watch anime for free and all that stuff. So I finally went on there, and I was like, man, this will be a perfect time to finally catch up on One Piece. And I clicked on it, and I was like, man, I can't wait. And I think like at that time there was like already 400 to 500 episodes. So I clicked on like 300. And it was something I've never seen before. So I was like, all right, so let me go back a little bit further. And I think I clicked on, I want to say it was like 150 to 200. And it was just like, oh, okay, well, this is where you are. This is kind of like where you left off, which still wasn't even 100% where I left off. So I was just like, I have to go back this many episodes and catch up to this, knowing that they're still creating more. I was like, nah, man, I'll leave One Piece alone. I'll let my friends and family and tell me about like all the crazy adventures of One Piece. So this go around, I'm actually gonna be giving a shout out to Chromag Toys. I actually got these guys from them. I traded in some stuff at their establishment, and they had this and the Luffy and one other statue there that I actually picked up. So I again really want to say thank you to those guys. I'm glad that they had them, and I'm glad that they I think I only paid $25 for everything. I got 3 statues for $25. I'm not mad about that. So this is Shanks, guys. This is our first statue that we will be opening. And Shanks has always been a character that I've always had an interest in while playing the One Piece games, or even seeing him like pictures of him and things like that, because he's been a mysterious character to me. I honestly don't know much about Shanks. aside the fact that he has a very strong connection to Luffy as well. I want to say that's it. There's probably a little bit more to him that I don't know about, of course, but he always seemed like a really cool character in the game. He was one of the last characters that you unlocked, and he was kind of OP. But he was a really fun character to use, and I've always liked how Shanks was. Like I said, he's a really cool character, I think, and I am definitely going to be wanting to look to learn a little bit more about him in the future. So, oh wait, that's what I was supposed to do. You're supposed to take this part off, and then, oh no, got it. Don't worry, guys, I got this. There we go. Nope. Yes. It's always weird, man, when anime stuff, because you gotta get everything perfectly right there just to make sure it fits correctly. And that fell off. All right, we got this. Take 2. Anime statue hates you. Watch it be like. Watch it be like you have to turn this piece around. Oh man. Oh man. Can it go here? Looks like it's kind of bent. So. Ha ha! Ha ha ha! All right, good enough. So I'm gonna go ahead and put him on the base. We're going to hide his shamefulness of a sword. And now we're going to show off the coolness of this statue, though. So again, Shanks was always a character that I really liked. And when I saw that they actually had Shanks at Cro-Mag Toys, I couldn't help but kind of actually want him. There's definitely quite a few characters in the One Piece universe that I think are really cool. Of course, a lot of the Straw Hat crew I always find very interesting as well. I actually think Ace is probably my favorite character of One Piece. Please, guys, I know what happened to Ace. And it always makes me sad every time I think about it. But it's okay. It's okay. We still get great stuff for Ace as well. But Ace is probably one of my favorite characters in there. I always like characters that use fire, but his attitude, just the way that he is, I've always liked Ace a lot. So Ace has always been a character I like the most. Probably Luffy is second, and then Zoro would probably third. Yeah, I would probably say that's like my 3. That'll probably be my 3 there. And then Shanks, I would probably say comes like 4th. And he's only 4 because it's just like he's still a really cool character. But again, I don't know much about him. I haven't seen him in the actual show to kind of be like, oh, he's a really cool character. I played with him in a video game, and that's kind of like where it drew the line at. So I gotta kind of actually explore a little bit more about who Shanks is before I can go in depth about how I like him and all this stuff. But yeah, I do really like this statue though. Again, roughly got this guy, got this and 2 others for $25. So I'm okay with that. I traded in some stuff that night. I want to say I was just getting rid of a few figures I had laying around, and they gave me a pretty decent amount of store credit. So I wanted to get some statues while they were there. And it was absolutely worth it for this guy. So we'll sit him off to the side. And then we'll open Luffy. So this was actually the one that drew me to Cro-Mag Toys. Luffy's normally like this are kind of a little bit harder to, not really harder to come by. I think they're still fairly easy to come by, but I looked online to see how much this guy was before actually going there. Because of course, when you're looking for a deal, you're kind of trying to make sure that you're not either paying more for something that you could just purchase later on down the line for cheaper. And they had this guy for roughly about, I think, $40, $50, which I thought that was still pretty good for his size and what he looks like, and the detail that they actually put into the statue itself. Whew. Oh my. Yeah, guys, he's really cool. Um, I could be absolutely wrong about this, but I want to say that this is fourth gear Luffy. I think that's the formal name for it. Um, Luffy was always a character that I had a lot of fun um, watching as I grew up on One Piece. He was, again, kind of like he was the Goku of the One Piece universe, where he was kind of like this goofy guy. He cared about his friends, and I normally relate to that a lot because I do care about the people that I call friends. I do always want to protect them. Um, I will say at one point in time I was a little bit more goofier than I am now, but I still find myself to kind of be like that goofy guy every now and then. So main characters like Luffy and Goku, I always kind of felt a more connection of with them. As I got older and I became an adult, I did start liking characters like Vegeta, who had like a more, just a more serious tone to him, who are just like, I hate everything. And yeah, sometimes you roll out of bed and you just kind of hate everything. So it's just what life is nowadays. But back to this statue for a second. My God, this is a really cool statue. Again, I saw him online on Crow Mag, and I was just like, I kind of need him. I kind of need him. I don't have a lot of One Piece stuff to actually show off, and he was just really cool. My friend Caleb is a big One Piece fan, and when I showed him this, he was just like, "Yeah, that would be a really cool thing to have." I think he already had a fourth gear Luffy in his collection, so he wasn't really looking to purchase this, and so I was just like, "Hey, why not add a fourth gear Luffy to my collection?" Because I think as of right now, I have one Zoro, and one Nami, and I think I have Mihawk and Crocodile. So I do have a few One Piece statues, but as far as Luffy being one of my favorite characters, I only have one for Luffy. So I wanted to go ahead and make something more dynamic, because the one that I have for Luffy is just kind of like him standing up and he just has his hands on his side and that's it. But I definitely love more action pose statues. They're the ones that definitely catch your attention more when you're looking at someone's collection of that dynamic pose, no matter if it's heroic or a battle pose. It's just really cool. It's what makes you really like a character, and it kind of captures the moment too. Um, I've seen this in so many things. Again, I played the One Piece Pirate Warrior games, and I've seen this form. I've actually played Jump Force as well, and this form has been a pain sometimes to deal with in Jump Force. So I gotta say that in Jump Force, at least, I'm not a fan of it. Um, but it has always been really cool. I really enjoy the detail that they put in here for Luffy as well. I do love the little smoke effect. I will say that I'm sure it's supposed to be kind of like an explosion, maybe. I don't know. That's kind of like what it reminds me of, like an explosion going off. But the way that it's connected to it, I get it, guys. We're all adults. We enjoy what we enjoy, but we're all going to be honest with each other and say this kind of looks like a fart. Okay, there we go. We said it. Everyone thought about it. We got it out of our system. All right. But also his his feet are so tiny. I don't know if they've explained that in the show why his feet are so tiny. I may have to ask one of my One Piece experts to tell me like if they can explain it. I do understand that a lot of the massive stuff goes up to his top or torso and his arms to give him more powerful, so it kind of takes away from this. Because I think also while he's in this form, he kind of hops a little bit more. If I'm correct, I could be wrong, but I'll have to double check. But I will say the detail on this guy is absolutely insane. So with this guy and his details, so I really like the paint that they use for Luffy's arms. Um, I can't really say if it's gonna. I don't want to say chrome or anything, but it's just I love the gloss that it has to it. I definitely think that it captures what they're trying to go for with this form for Luffy in particular. I really actually like the detail around the skin and the chest. Um, when it comes to skin, I'm not going to say it's really hard for people to do in a statue itself, but I just think that there are some that are better than others, where sometimes skin can just look super smooth on a character, and that's depending on what you're going for in that character. But with Luffy, especially just being like an anime character where skin normally isn't something they go to super detail with in animes, I think that they did an absolute amazing job of capturing the skin and stuff on Luffy. I've seen this in pictures before, and it does have a gruff look to it when you're looking at him in the anime. So again, I think that's what they were trying to go for in a more realistic look too, and they did an absolutely amazing job of capturing that as well with this. I will also bring up the fact that they used kind of like the same paint for the I'm going to call it a belt or his sash on his waist, and it looks really good too. It actually looks like a really good gold. Sometimes gold can be a little bit overbearing sometimes on certain things, but this doesn't take away from it. It's a gold that perfectly matches the color scheme that they have going on with this statue in particular. Again, also his face is one of my favorite features on this statue too, and his hair actually. So the hair is very detailed and the face is very detailed as well. We'll definitely try to get some close-ups of this for you guys so that way you can actually see a little bit more of him too. But definitely the detail around everything is just absolutely insane. I could see why this thing was probably originally roughly about $80 to $100 because this thing had amazing detail to it. It's a statue that's definitely worth, I would probably say worth that price if you're a huge One Piece fan. And I think that you're looking now for size comparison. Of course, I'm normally when I'm going into like the 100 range or so, I would want something a little bit bigger. But I think of what I'm going for in my collection, this was definitely one that's going to fit well in that size range because I didn't want something that's going to be too large to take away from other characters and stuff on the shelf. But this Luffy is definitely going to be probably going to be my centerpiece on that one shelf that I have a lot of my anime statues on. Um, and also, let's look at the back for a second. I will say that they did a great job of getting the wrinkles and stuff, the detail in it, like is actually capturing everything in motion, like the wind is flowing, and it's definitely a dynamic pose. Like if you saw this pose coming at you, it's just so dynamic. And I will also point out one more thing that if you guys can see with the little tattoos that are around here, um, they did a really good job too. They actually used the same gloss that they did on the arms to make the tattoos here. It looks a little bit darker, but you can actually see a lot of the red. It does have a little shine to it when you're actually shining it on the light. I'm trying to see if I can move it around so you guys can kind of see the shine on it itself. But I really like that too. They really did a fantastic job on this statue. I don't even know the company that worked on it. Um, let's see if I can fire. Banpresto. The same guys who worked on a lot of the anime statues that I have. So good job, guys. I'm glad that you guys definitely take the time and put the effort in to make the detail and everything for these characters for the prices that you pay for them because it's really great. It's really good that you have companies out there who want to take care of their fans and actually let them have great stuff to display on their shelves to have on there. So I really think that this is a really great piece for you One Piece fans out there. I'm a One Piece fan. Again, I don't know everything about One Piece, and I'm not gonna lie and try to act like I do. But from everything that I have here, I think this stuff is absolutely worth it. I want to say his standard retail price was actually roughly about between $80 to $100. And again, I got him for he was 50 at Crow Mag Toys, but with the store credit, I only paid $25 out of pocket. So that's what I'm normally looking at when I'm looking at paying for statues. Is what I pay out of pocket. So again, I pretty much got him. I got him for free, and I am 200% happy with him. I've been waiting to open this guy since I bought him, and now that I'm actually opening it, I'm so freaking happy, man. He's going to be a really cool one that I'm going to love to display. Um, but yeah, this is Luffy and this is Shanks here. Um, two really, two really awesome One Piece statues all together. Um, I really think I could probably do something really cool as far as a setup for these guys since they're both kind of in a battle pose. So I might actually have it set up later where I could have him and like I said, I have a crocodile who's kind of like in a battle pose as well. So I might have it where crocodile is kind of like doing a little charge, and then have them doing it. And I'll post pictures and stuff up on Instagram and Facebook, and probably even Jimmer and things like that when I get a lot of the pictures and stuff going. But this is really cool. Guys, I really hope you enjoyed this episode as well. I love these statues. Hope you guys do too. Definitely let me know what you think about them in the comments below. And if you're new, give a like to a video if you enjoy it, and definitely subscribe if you want to see more content. I hope you guys have a wonderful day.